Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Zwift Community Live broadcast of the BL13 Race Series. 2 races back to back. The riders have gotten on course, and since these are sprint races, we're going to jump right down into it. We're on the Lutece Express as well as the Douce France. Both of them very difficult for me to pronounce. Let's get right down into the racing, though. BL13, they put on an amazing series. As we watch the riders get out on course, Dave, it's going to be fast and furious right from the get-go on this course. These riders take on an immediate uphill grind. Back-to-back racing, Dave. It's an interesting concept. Yeah. I really like how they've put this together.
Me too. Really, you get a lot of bang for your buck. I know these folks, most of them you're going to see are, well, I'm seeing a lot of Canadian flags actually, but most of these folks are going to be racing in Europe, and it'll be very, very active. So, Nathan, I had to refresh my memory. Lutece, the Lutece Express. So, Lutece is the Roman name for Paris. This was a Roman outpost at one point. We're talking, well before the birth of Christ at this point. And so Lutece is the original Paris, and this is the least flat ground that I've ever seen, Nathan. 3% grade. I mean, this is basically a light climb, to tell you the truth, as you're out here on the Champs-Élysées, and we've got attacks going up the road left, right, and centers. We're just 1K in. 1K into 10K for the first race. Nathan, is the second race at 10K as well?
Let's take a look here real quick. Second race.
I didn't have a chance to.
There is a, it's actually an interesting one because it is a custom finish for the second race, actually. So for the second race, we're going to be watching out for that custom finish banner. We should be able to see it in game because we will be in the actual event itself. We have a couple of attacks here going right from the get-go. But for that, because it is a custom finish, I have a feeling it's going to be around that, Dave. I'll have to double check the exact distances for it. I think it is in the description, though. Looking here real quick, 13.21 kilometers. And there will be an AERO and a DRAFT, actually, on the second one, on the Douce France. So a little bit longer, not quite the 10K. Again and again, though, this is an interesting climb to have right from the get-go. But, the riders are going to be fresh on this one, aren't they, Dave? So, most of them are going to be able to make this initial kick. I think it's going to be the second time around because I think this has more of like a lead-in, and then they're going to do a full lap after they go through this finish banner. And this is going to be a downhill sprint when they come through that second time.
Yeah, they'll be flying. I want to go back to what you were saying, though, Nathan. Just because of the timing, I have a feeling that a lot of folks, have a small interval between going from their regular life stuff into Zwift racing mode. It's like transition 2 at Ironman, right? You come flying into your house, you immediately start flipping on all of your stuff and get it powered up and ready to race. So I wonder sometimes a lot of races probably come in pretty cold to that start. Not a lot of chance to warm up. Taking a look at this first little tester out here, wet our beak on a sprint, and it looked to me like it was Ramel, the French rider, coming over the lineup just in front of Miami rider. But
yeah, little kick there.
Nathan, there's no point.
No, there's no point. I think he was just having some fun with it there. This is going to be a series that is going to be watched very closely. This is run by one of the top esports teams in the world, BL13. And so this is definitely an A-focused series. It is part of the reason we're covering it on Wednesdays right now. Mondays, we cover across all categories, as well as on Tuesdays, if we are doing ZRL or we're on Tour of Utopia, it's more all about the entirety of the categories. This race is pretty much just attended by A-rate riders. Like you look through the rest of the categories and you don't see a whole lot of participation, but you have a massive participation of essentially some of the fastest of the fastest, highest of the highest ranked individuals. So if you show up to this race and you're not doing a heart rate monitor and you're not doing your duels, you can probably expect that you might not be getting a result. Just as a heads up to anybody out there, you might not even get chased down out there. Perhaps if people can see perhaps that things might be a little bit off, or you're known for having things being a little bit off. So just as a heads up, everybody, this is high-end racing, and the reason being is that BL13 want to create a space where you have that kind of structure, that kind of elite racing that is very respected in the community, and I definitely see that with this team.
Nathan, and there you go. That's the team that Nathan is talking about right now, BL13 in full effect. One of my all-time favorite riders, Daz Carter, Daryl Carter on this team. And BL13 had something up their sleeve, Nathan, as this is a planned attack, no doubt about it. So they're going to let this roll now. You can see that ZRL championship helmet. This team has got quite a few of them. So thanks for setting the table for us, Nathan, because right now BL13 is ready to upset the apple cart out here. 4K into the 10K throwdown that we've got going on right now on the Champs-Elysees. This is the first of 2 races, so pretty quick turnaround between the races as well, and that's certainly part of what we're looking for here is 2 massively intense efforts bookending a great workout out here today, as well as some exciting races. Nathan, you are 100% right about the quality of this field. It's really an interesting group of names, but riders like the Turkish star, Kaan Kayan of Hexagon is in the mix. I see Kevin Hodges took the start. Mafa Terek, the Wahoo Lacole rider, always a danger man, and the American Michael Painter, along with German Christian Grupp. So these are all riders we'll be keeping our eye on here in this first of 2 throwdowns right now, but they've got the accelerator down on the floorboard here.
Yeah, Utley off the front by 3 seconds. Are they going to let him go? It is dangerous. Now, the question is, can he hold on to this gap over through? Now, the section that's going to be interesting as to whether or not he can hold on to this gap is going to be this little downhill section. We do see an attack here from behind the Miami rider here coming out of the US of A. He's got some steering on, it looks like here. He's in the ZZRC kit. Love to see we race, we pace, not race. I don't know about that, ZZRC. It looks like he's definitely, well, he's pacing the group up, it looks like, as he pulls them back within 1 second. The continuance is there, and he's going to bring them right on back, but it's stringing things out.
He's got pace on his face, but race on his wheels, I tell you. So, you know what? Something happened with Kevin Hodges out there, Nathan. He was a rider that I was anticipating to be in the mix, but something going on for the next rider. Next, always
I don't know what's going on there. It's interesting.
He's out there. Right, but
he's hanging out on
many walks. Yeah.
I saw his avatar hanging out in the pens, and I have a feeling that he didn't get moving for some odd reason.
Got a business call.
So yeah, it looks like he tried catching up for a moment, and then was like, oh, or maybe the heart rate monitor didn't connect. I'm not sure, but they're going to come by him here real quickly as Miami rider is still pacing on the front here in this EZRC kit, liking it. 5.2 watts per kilogram. He's going to need a little more kick than that, I think, to get away from this crowd.
Well, this would be pacing, wouldn't it? Just sitting, dangling off of the front of this group, giving them something to work off of. But right now, I think we're going to reset things pretty quickly, and I'm expecting a counterattack to come off of this now. So we'll reabsorb Miami rider. Cool name,
and it looks like he is using those plays to his advantage as he goes all the way to the right-hand side of the course. Now he makes his way to the middle here to give a little bit of draft to the Hart rider, to the BL13 rider, Hart, as it looks like we're going to be starting our 4K to go, a little under 4K to go. The finish line is going to be on our right-hand side here in just a moment. They'll be coming through there after this little bit of a climb. Now, I might be mistaken, though. Dave, it's not. Is it going to be 4K to right there? Is that? Do you think that's 4K, or is there? Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So yeah, and so Nathan, you made a good point at the beginning of this broadcast. This next, let's call it 2K, is where you're going to make your impact on this race, or you're going to make the reverse call, playing Uno, and try to flip it and try to use as little energy as possible to have a maximum finale for yourself, a killer sprint. So let's see how everybody wants to play their cards here. But just like silence is a canvas for musicians, this course is going to be a canvas for sprinters out here. You're really going to have a chance to make your mark out of what's a strong group. So Nathan, if you came to get your workout in and sharpen your sword as far as your sprint goes, you're in the right place at the right time here. And there we go. There's the attack.
Big attack. 17 watts per kilogram coming from the dirt rider.
Yikes.
May Keen's big kick. The Belgian 180 beats per minute right into the climb. That's a solid move, actually. Those watts there into this kind of a climb distance at the beginning. The question is whether or not he can hold this kind of, and look, steamroller, perfectly timed for the continuance. Loving it.
Yes, so Nathan, what he did was really maximized every opportunity he had. He doubled down on his double down with that perfectly timed attack. Now, I don't think it's a bad thing if Berman can get up there and help him. The Dutch rider and the German very well could combine and have a shot at this one. They still got quite a ways to go. So this is going to be touch and go out here. The advantage is, Nathan, I think they've got a real shot here, even though remembering there's a lot of horsepower back in that peloton. They've got just a little more than 2K of racing here, a rugged 2K on these cobbles, though.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one here. We do have an attack here coming out of the group. It's going to be Morel. Now, coming out of Spain, there's another steamroller. This is going to start ramping things up. They've only got 4 seconds at this point. Lavoie out of Canada.
Chase.
Tarek, I have a feeling that this is going to come back here with only 4 seconds and this group starting to get motivated, Dave.
Yeah, you got to love it if you're these two when you see like Eicher's move here where he kind of scoots off of the front but doesn't really help with the overall speed of the chasing peloton. It looks like it's just about to come back into the fold. Gap is holding at right around 5 seconds right now. Miami rider just sitting in no man's land, not really participating in the chase or the good of the group as well. It's going to be Lind now surging out of this group. They have not organized a cohesive chase here, Nathan.
Yeah, it's going to be a difficult one, but it's going to come right down to it, I think, Dave. With this downhill into a sprint, there are going to be some surges coming through.
There they are.
Late attacks, though. If everyone sits up and waits for that final kick, though, at 5 seconds up, they will be able to hold on. But Miami Rider, he's ramping things up, and that is going to help this group massively. Daz Carter now to the front, and I have a feeling BL13 are going to put him right on the front of this and drag this right back. And that's what Daz is doing. Daz is the man for the sacrifice out here today to bring them back.
Sacrificial lamb. Absolutely, Nathan. He now is doing the good for the, although this gap's starting to open up a little bit, but these two just didn't have enough in the tank. As I got to give a lot of credit to Miami Rider. He's kept himself in the fight for the entire 9K that brings us into the ultimate kilometer. This is for race number 1, taking a look at small gaps opening up through this group. It's going to be another attack from Miami Rider. So this man is in fuego right now, Nathan.
Continues on the front here, just says, I'm going to take the bull by the horns and just go all the way to the line with a solid effort here. Not sure that's going to work out for him here. 2 seconds, though, Dave. I think in the final kick, that can come back pretty quickly, but this group needs to start thinking about when they're going to punch. Ludwig now, BL13, also heading to the front. BL13 is just putting all the... There it is. Look at the speed. The roll through, 71 kilometers per hour on the downhill. A couple more coming through. Luke Javel, watch out for him. Jubot, 11 watts per kilogram. There's the early kick all the way to the line. He's looking to make it here. I'm not sure that's going to be able to hold on at 11 watts per kilogram. It's right to the line here. 200 meters. A little bit of a kick up here. 1% gradient now. Will it be behind him, though? It's going to be Morel, Lind, Pio Otto with the drafting power up. That's going to make it happen, but it's going to be a really tough fight to the line. BL13. Oh, did you see the little play there? And, did I get it? That was right there, Dave, between these three.
I'm thinking it was Con Kayan there. Again, we'll have to go to the back-end API and see exactly what we've got. A 3-rider virtual photo finish here. I honestly thought Luke had it, but again, the timing not quite right. Lind, the Danish rider, now coming from Pio Otto, a team with incredible bona fides. You would have thought that would have been enough, but then here we go. The last surge, Nathan.
Yeah,
is it going to be Osbey? It was Osbey.
Maybe. Yeah. Right? It's so
I thought
close.
It was teammate Can. Well, Osbey's the first over the line, isn't he, if we let this play out? But again, you got to go back and look at all the data. But, I mean, that picture tells me it was going to be the Turkish rider.
I'm trying to get a good look at this here. We'll see if I can get a better, this is, that's about as close maybe as we can get to it here.
So, I mean, in my eyes, there's no question that both his wheel and his helmet is in front of.
Yeah, I think you may be right there. Yeah, I mean, you go back one more frame.
Well, that doesn't tell you anything. The only photo that matters is.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The only photo that matters is the one you were showing just a second ago, which is putting the pink of that tire, but again, it's not directly on. We're at about a 5% grade. But I mean, again, even if what we see, Nathan, what might not correspond with what the results show us.
Yeah, it could be a little bit different there from what we're seeing.
You can analyze this photo finish all day until the cows come home, but
we do have 10
ultimately,
minutes till the next race, so
let's keep analyzing them.
We might want to wait for the cows for just a little bit.
So
we can go talk to Kevin Hodges hanging out on in the side of the road, see what he's doing with again, he gave him a little bit of a high five, it looked like, as they came by.
So yeah, in the 10,000 hour department, when you talk about what makes a real professional, analyzing photo finish there's a lot of intensity around it, right? And I mean, it's down to the pixel when you're doing it in real life. They have cameras that are, I think it's taking 10,000 photos a second is what an actual photo finish camera is doing at the Olympic level. So with that many photos per second, you get it down to a pixel on a computer screen. And I mean, we've seen it in the last couple of years. There've been, at the very highest world tour level, there have been photo finishes that have been called ties. There have been ties at the World Championships. Taylor Phinney tied for a bronze medal at the World Championships in the road race. They just couldn't definitively make that call. So we're going to go back and take another look at the sprint. This is going to be Luc Gilbeault, the Canadian, who really comes in with so much energy for this season. And then we take a look at
look at how quickly he comes into that scene. Man, that was pretty awesome, actually. Like, that was pretty freaking cool, the way that played out. Well done there. Let's go ahead and get our results up. We do have our results, and then we'll get into the next event here.
Kind of like the old Zwift Grand Prix from a season ago. The riders are quickly turning around to get ready for their next race. What would you typically do, Nathan? Just keep the legs spinning, hydrate a little bit?
Yeah, I think I would keep the legs spinning, get a little bit of get a little sugar in probably after that kind of an effort, most likely. I think that's the main thing I'd be focused on, is just making sure that I'm well sugared up and have as much glycogen getting restored in, get some, spin the legs, make sure they're moving, clear some of that lactate out, and get ready for the next race. Get as much recovery as you can. There is a good amount of time between these. The tiny races a little bit different, where it's a little bit longer. A little bit shorter between them. I kind of like this a little bit better personally. But I mean, tiny races is a different kind of workout though. Like that's like back to back real quick. They give you a little bit more time to work with this one.
Yeah. Well, Nathan, I mean, come on. It was 13 thousandths of a second separating. So a huge gap between first and second there. As we see Gökhan Özbey taking the W. Iker Murel coming through for second.
I almost thought you were serious with you said that pretty well there, Dave. Like, just so you know, Chad, Dave's messing with you.
So yes, Nathan, you're correct. Iker had a great ride today, though, didn't he? And I want to back up what you were saying. BL13, thanks so much for organizing these events. These really are fantastic and just great for the community as a whole. So Iker Murel takes second. Martin Lind, the Danish superstar, coming through for third. It's going to be another Turkish rider. So two Turkish riders in the top four. Berk Kayan. Burke and Khan, his brother, are a lot of fun to watch race. Merlin Deliar there. That's going to be Luc Gilbeault's sidekick. He's on the SWAT team as well. SWAT and Restart are related somehow. I'm going to have to check in with you on that, Nathan. You've always got the deets. But Merlin, good job today. There's Khan Kayan, the brother of Berk, as he'll take sixth today. So half of our top six are from Turkey in this race. Good job, Turkey.
Whoa.
Chad Butts. Isn't that crazy?
There, I've never seen that in our results before. That's pretty cool.
No, it's exactly what we love, right? The international element of Zwift Community Live remains one of my favorite parts of it. Chad Butts of eWorks, Rad, in seventh. Christian Grupp, the German, on Talent Frey in eighth. Jean-Michel Lachance in ninth. And it's going to be Lucas Bierman coming through today for the Dads Indoors Riding Trainers in 10th. Speaking of dirt, thanks to Christopher Schwanker, been enjoying a lot of content that he's been putting up lately. So always recommend that you check out what's going on there. But I'll throw it back to you, Nathan. I think did you say we did have the bees today? No,
but
we
that's
did
the
not.
thing is there's a B category, but this like
Everyone races A's.
It's a very top end. Like this is what we have for the. Well, it looks like we have pretty cool to see some women's
They might just be
participation though.
finishing.
Britt Poor from Synergy jumped in. It looks like and finished amongst these boys actually, with Andreas Gabriel, Edwin Van Norden, 3R, and Stefan B. Britt Poor was right there with them. Actually, to the line, it looks like she averaged 4.1 watts per kilogram. Actually,
yeah. Hey, Britt, good job. Very impressive.
Huge, very cool to see.
That's what you call now, Nathan. That is 100%. I've had people ask me before at races when you say punching above your weight. What are you talking about? And that would be exactly what I'm talking about. I assume that Britt is female by the name.
Yeah. It's also in Zwift Power. I checked real
right?
quick. Right, and for Synergy too, and that tends to be a women's team as well. So
yeah, using all the clues. Thank you, Nathan, for saving me though, or confirming. But so she's the only woman in this group. She most likely weighs less than these guys, looking at that watts per kilo, and she put out a bigger effort. So Britt, 10 extra karma points for you for your effort today.
Yeah, and you can trade those in for. We gotta have some sort of karma point trade in. What are we gonna?
For Swedish fish or Tutti Fruities from Martin at SZR.
There we go.
Martin is he'll be as surprised as anyone to hear that he's in this international exchange, but it's part of Zwift Community Live, right? We need our own currency, Zwift bucks.
It looks like we do have a couple of finishers here. Cycling Meyer as well as Philippe Gross Brown. Nice job to you two finishing up. Looks like they went right to. I like that they're racing here, each other here in these other categories. No finishers in the D category. As we said, this is a very top heavy race for sure. If we jump across over to the pens, this is what things look like at the moment. They are over on the Douce France. And they will be doing 13K. There's 3 minutes to start here, and people are starting to load into the pens, getting their not warm up, but stay warm. What do you want to call it in between here, Dave?
Yeah, stay loose. Stay loose, maybe.
We need a better. We need a better term though for that.
Yeah.
What's the term?
One question I have for you while we have a minute is the origin story for BL13, Nathan. Do you have any idea what the BL stands for, or what? Help me dissect what this name is all about.
I know what it was.
Someone will help us.
And now I bet you they're in chat. Someone's going to say something in chat. They got 2 minutes, right? They're gonna. Yeah. I bet you one of the BL13 team members got to be hanging out to let us know. But I know
one of their squires.
Jazz Carter was the start of things, I think, in a lot of ways, and he was streaming a ton. And I get the sense that from there, somewhere in there is where things got moving for them, but I'm not exactly positive. So yeah,
we'll have that detail for you by the as soon as we can find out. Someone will help us, I'm sure. So, all right, my anticipation, Nathan, here for the second race. You know, the Tour de France used to, well, actually, even when I raced as a kid, we would do double days in stage races, stage A and stage B, 1A, 1B, that kind of thing. They don't do that and haven't done that for quite a long time. Very unpopular. But the day that the first North American to ever wear the yellow jersey at the Tour de France, Alex Stieda, that was a double stage day. They did a road race in the morning and then a team time trial in the afternoon, which is, it's unimaginable in modern racing. But this is kind of like that. And typically what you would see is the second race of the day goes out incredibly hard. There's no waiting around for many reasons. Psychologically, though, I think that the racers just really want to get after it after this 10-minute break that they've had here. But there's the countdown. You can see.
That's an interesting take, because in the tiny races,
do they ease into it?
The first race goes so hard, and then the second race, it's like some people save a little bit, it feels like, for that second race, and then just try and break things right from the get-go. But it'll be interesting to see how things go here. They've had enough time here that I think it has to do with how much time goes by too. I think that's a pretty big factor in it. You know, if that makes sense. If you're racing in the morning and then in the evening, I think that the ability to recover is there too, right?
Yeah, no, I agree. Hey, Nathan, as we see the countdown now from 5, have you seen much of a change across the board in the way esports races start? I mean, it was always just known for bananas starts. Has that throttled back at
I
all
think
as it's
so.
become more
Huge for
sophisticated? Yep.
to me, it definitely has. Like, it feels way more chill. Like it used to go out like just bonkers orange numbers, and now as you can see, 6 watts per kilogram. Everybody kind of knows
That's
that
not
nobody's going to
bonkers.
really. No, it's not. Nobody's going anywhere. It isn't orange numbers from the get go.
You're
It
not going
used
to
to
win
be
the
orange
race.
numbers. For some
Right.
people, just kind of figured out that this is a waste
It
of
didn't.
my effort. No one's going
Yeah.
anywhere.
And it was sort of like the star-bellied Sneetches or keeping up with the Joneses. If everybody else is doing it, you have to do it or you get dropped. And then, that the old saying, like, you got to give it like you get it. If they're giving it like that, well, I'll give it like that too. We can trade punches all day if they want. So, Nathan, here we go.
Yeah, I was gonna
Some,
mention Bolt. I was going to mention the
yeah, there you
BRT
go.
team, but I just
Grant,
was being
thank you.
careful. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Go ahead though, Dave. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Didn't mean to steal the thunder there, but Grant, you get the thunder because Grant Womack is letting us know that some members from Bolt Racing Team and Ludlow Brewery joined forces, and they brought in a few members from Team 13. So it was kind of a three-way merger, it sounds like.
So they did the Bolt side of things, they did the Ludlow side of things, BL, and then Team
Uh-huh.
13, and just threw it all into. I like how they just kept it personal too. They just kept their like nobody would actually know any of that necessarily unless you really knew the teams that were out there. So LeChance going early here, Dave, and I didn't see him in the last race. I think he might be sniping
He
here a little
wasn't
bit.
there. Well, and this is a Zwifter of fame for sure. Isn't this Sir Zwift a lot, if I remember correctly? JP
Is it?
Lachance? I believe so. I don't want to, I'm not outing him. It's no big secret, but I believe this is Sir Zwift a lot. If I'm wrong, I'll definitely eat my hat and apologize. But again, there's so many great characters, like Get Zwifty, that do some fun memes, and they do it in a good spirit too. It's not hateful or angry based at all. And this Monsieur Lachance is a well-known super Zwifter, and he's throwing down right now. I think he's established the gap here. He's making a few more watts, trickling out a few more than the Miami rider leading the chase, but not so much that he's going to start piling on a ton of time now. I wonder, Nathan, if he's wondering if anyone wants to come join him in a breakaway effort out here. Miami rider seems to be all about regulating things, just chasing and chasing and chasing. He's the dream crusher there in Miami.
LeChance now continues to kick up into 9 watts per kilogram here and there while continuing at a steady effort on the front. It looks like, now backs off to 2.6, now 6 watts per kilogram. It's all over the place here when it comes to trying to find those little gaps that he can. And he's using these little uphill sections to really punch and then settle in, punch and then settle in into an FTP type effort, it looks like. Holding on at the struggle is real though at this point. I think holding it over 5 watts per kilogram is starting to put in some hurt into the legs. It's only 2.3 into a 13-kilometer race. He's looking for the
20-minute
distance.
power. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm wondering I'll take a look. What is JP's 20-minute power? We can confirm from Alejandro that this is Sir Zwift a lot.
Nice one, Dave. I actually had no idea.
You did not know that. Every now and then a dog finds a bone in Zwift Community Live. Today was my lucky day.
Well, it looks like the chase is on. 5 seconds. It's staying. He's within sight still. The danger is if he gets out of sight. They'll know he's still up there, but if he gets a little bit too much distance, there might be a lack of motivation from the main group. I think we'll start seeing people trying to jump across.
Around. I mean, you can see he's matching them blow for blow out here, but this is a really good. We were talking about how math and physics all really come together out here. Watch what one rider now basically matching whoever's on the front of the chase. You can see there's going to be 2 or 3 riders in the peloton that are putting up in that neighborhood of 6 watts per kilo now. JP is pretty much done in that neighborhood, and I think that that's going to be the moment I didn't mean to jinx this, but I think JP's realized that enough is enough. And we're going to watch this reset itself about a third of the way in. So, as Nathan said, 13K out here today. It's going to go by very quickly.
Yeah, now we do have an attack coming out of the main group. Lavoie now from restart, looking to go across. 10 watts per kilogram coming from him. 802. Nice little kick here from the restart rider. LeChance now getting blown by. Whew, 55 kilometers per hour from the group. That's a great attack over the top. I'm interested to see that Lavoie does not have a heart rate monitor on. That's not, I don't think, usual for him. There may have been some sort of a mishap there for him, but we'll see if he can get things figured out, or at least maybe a duel on that, because a duel will, I think, trump a heart rate monitor most likely. A6225 coming through.
I'd say that this is a rider, too, that does have a body of work to speak to. So on a day where the heart rate monitor doesn't work, you know what I mean, Nathan, we can cut a little slack every now and then, I would think, if you're a known good actor in the sport.
We'll see.
We'll see. Right.
We'll see.
It's kind of, that's the benefit, though, of being a part of the community, being transparent, is that you will get more slack at times when, or maybe a little more grace. But either way, we're going to go back and pick up a 5-rider breakaway here, as this is going to be dangerous because Miami rider's been willing to work. We know Lavoie is strong, and Christian Grupp is a monster. Kevin Hodges is back. There must have been something, maybe in real life incident where he couldn't race, but he's racing now. And the next presented by Insured rider here is going to be a factor, no question. This is a legit danger man. But I think that they've bridged that gap, Nathan, as we're going to take, or is this just one rider getting up into? No, it looks like, all right, we're going to have to reset, but it's pretty active out here.
Full reset, it looks like. 48 riders total that's joined in with this second race here. Looking at this, do we have 48 there? Maybe just a little short on that. We have a couple off the back. Looks like Womack, after his work in that last race, is off the back. Aiken here just hanging on, it looks like. 4 watts per kilogram here. 159 beats per minute. What is this?
You need to have,
Dave.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to race with these guys, you got to have 5 watts per kilo on demand at any moment. It's got to be at your fingertips, which is, Nathan, as you would well know, this is the neighborhood that you live in. I mean, this is no joke, just to ride in a peloton like this. For folks that have never Zwifted before, it is stunning, the kind of effort it takes just to hold the pace in a group like this, let alone thinking of attacking out of this group. And there's going to be somebody who does attack out of this group. It is really unlikely that this stays together all the way to the finish line. I'm expecting old school fury with the way that these guys came to race today.
Matteo Segala here, coming out of Italy.
Yes.
He's got the Segala Cycling.
Long time no see. Bello. Cool. Ciao. So Matteo is an age group gravel world champion.
It's a tough honor to grab, that's for sure. Especially with the amount of participation in that scene right now. So cool to see.
Man, it's stacked, isn't it, Nathan? As you've spent more time around that world, it is really impressive, and it's only going to continue to grow into 2024. Matteo Cigala has been a long-time Zwift community member. It's really nice to see him back. It's like the Swallows returning to Capistrano when you see these riders coming back into the community. Makes you feel good, safe. The circle of life continues. I'm going to give Miami rider some kind of award here today. The All Heart Award, just riding on the front, fully committed. Great job. Makes me proud to be an American.
Grant Womack, who is off the back at this point, he's saying he's able to get to chat, it looks like, letting us know that the camera has given everybody 20 extra watts. And speaking of, the average at this point for most of the riders is well over 4 watts per kilogram. Really, I think the average is about 4.5 amongst this crew. The average on the first race, though, was over 5 for most of the riders, actually. So interesting to see. This is definitely a hotly contested series so far with the amount of watts they're putting out. Almost everyone well over 300 watts when it comes to the average that they produced for that first race for 13 minutes. And Niall is saying he's getting dropped doing 6 watts per kilogram. So
he's a cool kid.
Things are insane out here today.
Guess who's back? Gary Mueller. Nathan, I haven't seen Gary's name on a start list. The Coalition Alpha rider has quietly been sitting back in this group. Watch for him to pop one. don't know where his form is at. First time I've seen him in months, but it's exciting to see the South Africans throwing down.
Let's see if we can find him in group here, see how he's sitting.
Oh, thanks.
And where the heart rate's at. And lots of names here jumping back in. Watch out for I think this is a rider that I've had to go toe-to-toe with quite a few times. I didn't see him extremely active in the last race. We'll see how he goes, but definitely also one to watch out for. We're seeing power-ups being used. That is probably going to be because they are coming up on a sprint banner in just a moment. That is not because they're going to be sprinting for the banner. It's because they will be able to get a new power-up coming through there. Again, the power-ups today in this race, I believe for this one is going to be, I heard AERO and DRAFT.
DRAFT and AERO.
Yeah, so I think everyone who does not have that AERO power-up is looking for one. Now, this group off the front, Dave, they look a little organized, and people are trying to get across because I think they know that there may be some danger up there. Utley's involved. We've got Miami Rider. We've got Lavoie. We've got Aiken. It's 4 seconds. This is going to be a tough one.
Buckle up, buttercups. Here we go. You take a look at the breakaway, Nathan. You do your inventory. If you don't see a Turkish rider, forget about it. But if there's one there, go ahead and start working it. It looks like that's going to be the situation.
Burke is getting involved here from Hexagon.
That's the special ingredient that you need in a breakaway out here today, and that's going to be Burke Kayan. So Lavoie is there, the Canadian strongman. I mean, he knows how to Canuck up, no doubt. Aiken. Okay, this is quite a group that we've got now. Is BL13 represented? Well, they're off the front.
Utley is there.
Right.
Yep.
Just there you go. So this is your 6 rider breakaway, maybe 7, and it will be 7. Lind will be able to join this group, and then that might be that. They're going to lock the back door, put a padlock on it, see if they can stay away. They're racing to, let's call it 13 kilometers out here. Nathan, this group is so strong. If these guys are willing to work together, this is going to come down to no passengers.
I think you might be right here. The back group here is not necessarily giving too much of a chase, but they've got to stay motivated up ahead. I get the feeling that this front group, though, is willing. I really do. They seem like they are super motivated. And I know Utley, I know that this guy will throw down for the group regardless. He just likes to make the racing fun. And I think Berman can see that. Looks to go across. 8 watts per kilogram kicking from him. Daz now is covering that. There's a lot of orange numbers here, Dave.
Panic. Yep, this is it right here. Everybody throwing down. If you're not in that front group, you're not in the right place, Nathan.
Yeah, and that's the problem right now for this group because they can see that they're going to stay away and they're going to have it's a finish into an I believe on the I have a feeling that is on the aqueduct perhaps. And so it's going to be an uphill into that sprint, but I may be incorrect because it's coming up pretty quickly.
I feel like you're right. I feel like you're right, Nathan, to tell you the truth. So, yeah, that maps out, actually. Here's the other rider that they were missing. I mean, he animated in the first of our 2 races here today, that 10K race that we had on the Champs-Elysees, and look at the pandemonium.
There needs to be a counter right now, Dave. For anything to stick, someone has to go. Exactly, right. Exactly. I mean,
so there's only 2 or 3 riders that... So, Nathan, there's only 2 or 3 riders that have the ability. Now, do they have the huevos to play that card? That comes down to it because not anybody can attack. And I'm really surprised that this has reset. It's come back together. But take a look at this long, thin line of pain. We haven't seen a race like this on Zwift for a long time. This is an absolute throwdown as we're down to 3K to go. 3K to go, Nathan. This could go any direction.
Yeah, and looking here, it is going to be Miami Rider still on the front now. Now coming on through, it is going to be Berman. Berman now kicking a little bit. LeChance is there still as well. It's starting to separate out at the back. As you can see, Rider's starting to fall off, unable to even make contact with this front group. Miami Rider continues on out of the US of A. 6.3 watts per kilogram in the front, just smashing it. LeChance here trying to get onto the wheel. And Dave, this guy's just the pacer. ZZRC, he's got this kid
lives up to it.
And he's just going to pace them all the way here. McKean's here trying to get back on terms as it is still going to be about a little under 3K to go as they round their way up toward the aqueduct. It may be a little past the aqueduct actually here, Dave, because they're about to hit it and it's still 3K to go. Yeah, so
okay, all right.
I have a feeling, well, at least from what I saw in the description, we're looking at 13K. Now, unless that was incorrect now as we hit the KOM.
All right, well, It's going to be exciting no matter what. I've got to give Miami rider a ton of credit, Mr. Consistency. But these riders are lining up behind him as everybody is ready to get an at bat now. So, well, yeah, they don't look. They
Grant
must know
Womack that I think it is going to be in the town just
okay, so
after the
clearly
sprint
know
banner.
that they're not sprinting. So
yeah,
definitely not at this arch.
Yeah, so there's a sprint banner in the town after this KOM. So that's where we're looking for here.
Okay, thanks, Grant.
So about
Grant
2K,
is saying 13.2. Okay, so thanks again, Grant.
That's an interesting spot. I wonder what's going on, like with with where they're going to be having that. So looks like a little bit after the sprint banner. So be watching out for that. Hopefully everybody can see exactly where that's going to be. This is really whittled down though, Dave. Look at this is a much smaller group. Look how many names are off the back here.
Oh, I mean, they were punching tickets over the last 3K all the way to the aqueduct. They put 12 riders out the back door, and here comes the attack. There you go. So, Nathan, just really quickly then, the organizers able to custom select where they want the finish line. Am I hearing that correctly?
Yeah, it's a custom. Yep. It's a custom course.
So that's cool. I love that they have that ability. I'm very curious. Miami rider, you are my hero. Unbelievable to see you back here on the front as we make our way past the lilac fields. I'm not sure if that's lilac or lavender. Either way, it's purple. And that's going to be now, we're calling it 1K. 1K to go.
1K to go, 1K to go. Here we go as it ramps on up. And Miami's just going to be the lead out, man. Prince sitting in, it looks like the Dutch rider here. Minas is there as well from Virtus, Portugal. Luke G sitting pretty as always. We saw him go early last time and then get snipped at the line. Watch out, though. Is Osby here? Hodges is in this. I forgot. Yep. And he didn't race the last one. If he made the split, he's the one to watch out for, I think. Here comes the ramp up, Dave. The drafting power-ups, but it's going to be about the arrows, I think, the early drafting power-ups, because they do last a little bit longer. We've got 500 meters to go right to the line here. Veritas now ramping up. Daz Carter now 12 watts per kilogram. Here's the big kick coming from Daz. Is it just going to be a lead out, though, for Lind over the top? So many watts coming through. Where's the big kick? That's the question for me. It's going to be, I think, at the front. LaChance, no, to the line. Painter, Berman to the line. No, I'm not sure if it's going to be Berman all the way now. We didn't see a banner, interesting enough. So we're not going to be able to tell. It was immediately after that. I thought for sure we'd be able to see it, but we didn't. Apologies on that, everybody.
I'm going to say Lucas, though.
Yeah, I think Lucas was able to take that down. I'm not sure Kevin made the group. I'm looking through here, and off the back just a little bit there.
Something's up with him today, just as far as orbiting around his Zwifting is my guess. One thing I do know, these are fun. Nathan, any chance we can do this again next week?
Yeah, we got these scheduled actually through the rest of the series actually. So I really enjoy the format. It gives us some time to analyze things a little bit too as well. And it's just a great way to go. So and there may be no arrow is a big thing actually. If you don't have an arrow for this sprint, we should back this up just a little bit more, I think, and get like a good look at how this played out. Because, I mean, looking here,
turning yourself into a Mark Cavendish for the sprint by reducing your frontal area is a huge advantage. And it looked like not many riders were lucky enough to have the AERO power up.
Yeah, with only a couple of options out there and, 2 opportunities, I think, is what you had out there to grab it. So definitely changes things up just a tad. You see, Gary Mueller came in the chat. We saw also your chat in game. Good to see you coming back, and heard there's a newborn or a baby born recently. So congratulations.
Congrats.
And I can relate. Tried the fitness. You got to do the baby monitor and Zwift. That's what you got to do. It's baby monitor and Zwift hand in hand. You become the night watchman, and then everybody else can sleep. You make sure that you've got the milk ready to go, and you just take your little break, and you have some sugar too as well. While you feed the baby, Grant, you'll be good to go. Nathan did that 5 times, buddy.
Get a nice quiet Zwift hub, and you won't bother. Nobody will
there you
know
go.
your Zwift
You got to make sure that trainer's plenty quiet. No creaking back and forth trainers.
Hey, Nathan, I wanted to shout out someone else today, too. A great example of community, Grant Womack. Grant, you're a really cool person. Helped out a couple questions that we had. Grant was able to be there for us. So I'm impressed. Thanks, Grant.
Rob White is asking how to join these races. Is that actually Rob White?
White's a sprinter from Wisconsin.
It's actually Rob White. It is. And
yeah,
Rob, it's the description is over on YouTube, bud. It's great to see you here. I've raced against Rob in Tour of America's Dairyland and seen him. Rob, this guy, okay.
He's one of the best sprinters
I gotta
in
say
America.
Something. This guy, I gotta say, 15 years ago when Nathan showed up on a rusty chain bike and him and his brother,
twin brother, right?
Twin brother just demolished my legs on Tuesday nights at the Centennial Ride out of Heartland, Wisconsin. Just smashed me, dude. And that those guys would motivate me. And I gotta say, once in a while, I'd get them in a sprint when I was a little bit younger, and that motivated me. That those two, I knew they were pro riders, and they motivated me to go to the next levels and the next levels. I mean, I was a mountain biker. I was probably a little bit cagey and out of control, and I probably bugged the heck out of them. But yeah, I mean, great to see.
They don't mess around.
No,
they
don't.
They're really highly respected on the racing circuit in America. The two twins are two of the best 5 master racers in the United States. And Rob, we would love to see you out here for sure. So if you need to, as we say, this holds true for anybody, not just Rob White, but if you have some questions or want to get involved in Zwift community, door's always open for myself, and I can speak for Nathan because I watch it happen every single day.
If you do want to join these, we do have the events linked over on our YouTube. Zwift Community Live over on YouTube for we have 3 of them up so far. We'll get the rest of the series linked, and you'll be able to jump into these Wednesday races. It starts 1:10 and 1:35 p.m. Central Time for you, Rob. Now it looks like Berman, I did think, take this over Painter. Right behind him is going to be McKean's and then LaChance. So big sprints there. That's your top 4. Real close here between all. Burt Kane is there as well, right behind for Hexagon. Luke G is going to be in 6th. It looks like they're across the line, but we'll get the official results coming through in just a moment.
All right. So, yeah, this format is a home run, much like Eric Schlange doing the tiny races. You can see that the format of the intensity, short amount of time, and great camaraderie really works. So, Nathan, I'll run through these really quick. Is Lucas Bierman taking it for the dirt team today with Sebastian McKean 2nd and Michael Painter in 3rd. Bierman and McKean's racing for the dirt team. That's Dad's Indoors Riding Trainers. Michael Painter for 3rd, then Bert Kane coming through for 4th today. Jean-Michel Lachance in 5th. Merlin Delier 6th. Luke G in 7th. They're both riding for the SWAT team, talking about Merlin and Luke. It's Iker Murrell in 8th place. Chad Butts of eWorks Rad in 9th. And then B. Axt of the Dragons taking 10th in some spirited racing, guys.
Nicely done there. Good to see the Dragons showing up out here today as well. Love those guys hanging on for 10th amongst a pretty tough crew. I do see comments coming through. And one thing I do want to say real quickly, with the series being community run and the abilities that they currently have, I think BL13 do a really good job of making sure that everything is going to be up to snuff. So that's one of the reasons that we are covering this as well. So we will be able to, I think, over the next couple of weeks, be able also to start bringing in series points, Dave. So we'll get some updates on everything as we start to, build things out. One other thing, Dave, we do want to bring in.
Sorry.
No, you're all good. You're probably checking some of the data in the background and reading. One other thing we do want to do is start to bring in some of your live efforts here. So if you do want to be a part of this is going to be, again, a focus in on the A category, obviously, because it's the main participation within this series. If we do start to see some participation across some of the other categories, we will jump across to those. So if we do start to see some Bs and some Cs and some Ds, definitely as those grow and the participation is there, we'll jump across the extra time that we have. But looking to make this one of the highlights when it comes to top-end esport racing. I think that this type of format, too, lends toward some excitement, a lot of excitement amongst this whole crew. So pretty cool to see, and we get all those top riders at that 1 p.m. Slot, I think, where it fits just perfectly for some in the U.S. around lunchtime, and it's that perfect time for the Europeans as well.
Yeah, I really love it. And I think, Nathan, once we lock in on this, that we'll see the broadcast factor come into play. Definitely. I'm using a lot of bird analogies lately, like the swallows and Capistrano, but now it'll be the birds of a feather flock together. So if you're looking for some great sprint racing, come join us on, or not us, come join BL13 and Zwift Community Live on Wednesdays, and you'll get a chance to, I had a Russian teacher in high school that had a saying that was repetition is the mother of learning. And I've stayed with me my entire life because it really is true. To be a good sprinter in real life or on Zwift, the more at-bats you get, the more like a comedian, the more time on stage that you have, you just get better immensely faster than if you practice in a vacuum. As a matter of fact, practicing sprinting in a vacuum is useless. It really is. Without the adrenaline, it's nothing. So it's great to have everybody out here. I know we're all raising our game.
Yeah, and I don't want to do anything in a vacuum. I'm not sure I'm going.
Me either. That sounds horrible.
I'm not going in any vacuums, Dave. One other thing I want to just update everybody on. There is some sprint training for the ladies actually later tonight. The Empower Hour with Team Saris, and then Gabby is actually running some sprint training specifically for a ladies only ride. So I'm not sure we got too many of the ladies watching right now at this moment, but if you do have any partners out there for you boys that are, or any ladies that happen to be checking in on the broadcast out here, ladies only sprint training later tonight with Gabriella, as well as followed right after the Saris Empower Hour. It is something that she's looking to help and lead amongst the ladies community. You can also see that on her Instagram, and if you are a part of the Zwift Ladies Only group, I think you can find it in there as well. I wouldn't know, as I'm not allowed in there, but you can find it if you are a part of that group over there as well. Of course, tomorrow we do have the wrap. There is no Zwift Grand Prix this week, which I'm very happy of because I can't even move my back at this point. I'm not sure I'll be racing next week, you guys. We'll see how that ends up. I haven't been able to be on the bike. I'm hoping to hopefully get on the bike by this weekend, but I'm not sure that that's going to be happening. Another go at the Cairo. We are moving better. I did get to the gym last night and do some step-ups. That's about all I could do in the sauna, but we're getting there. I mean, I'm sleeping with only waking up in absolute pain once. So, man, yeah,
sorry.
It's okay. I'm just glad it's getting better. You know what I mean? Like if you're just sitting there and it's not getting better, then you really start freaking out.
Scary.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
we've got a good eye on what we think is going on, and it's all good. So. Well, I'm seeing Jaden Nagar in here. Hey, Jaden, good to see you. Also, Wisconsin. Lots of Wisconsin hanging out.
Hey, come on, join Mr. White.
We get it, Jaden. And maybe, Jaden, what we could do is as we push this forward, perhaps we start to tool up BL13 as well and some of these, top end elite series.
You know what else? Jaden is here for the U.S. National Championships are coming up. Not that far off. So I imagine he's sharpening his sword. So he's a multi-time national champion in real life, time trial, criterium, and esports. So watch out for this guy.
Yeah, I'd love to see him.
It's Jaden Yeager we're talking about.
Yeah, Jaden Yeager. That ride at Toad, the final stage of Toad in Tosa, literally just rode off the front of the field in the Masters race. I mean, just by, I think he almost lapped the field solo. So this guy, watch out if he gets off the front. We'll hope to see him in some of these races real soon. And that's going to be it for us, everybody. We really appreciate you tuning in. We will be scheduling out a lot more broadcasts. We've got so many thumbnails actually that need to get put into our YouTube right now. So we're going to be scheduling those pretty much for the rest of the night and tomorrow. So ZRL, we've got those all done. So those are going to be getting up onto the YouTube channel for the next round. We've got, as well as the USA Cycling that's going to be coming up. We're going to be throwing that series up. There's just a ton going on. Did that get out there? Did that go out?
That was released.
Yeah, that was released. So I have an email I need to check, and I actually saw it this morning, but it looks like.
Thanks, Eric Hill. It's a Wisconsin day on Zwift Community Live. Jaden Yeager, Eric Hill, and the White
Eric
Twins.
Hill,
Yeah.
like they're all hanging out
Rob
here.
White,
but we will have coverage. We'll be having the coverage exclusively for the Canadian National Championships as well, everybody. So be on the watch out for that. Make sure to sign up as soon as that is a go. There is going to be a series for that. I'm not sure we're going to be able to cover the series. It's at a time of day that's really difficult with how much we're already covering, but maybe we'll be able to hand that off. We'll see what we can do about that. But we'll definitely be on the USA Cycling Series leading into it. But we will definitely be doing the racing for national champions for the Canadians as well. So we're really, really cool stuff. So be on the watch out for everything that's going out. If you haven't done so already, and you want to follow everything, follow, like, subscribe, comment, do all that. It'll get you into the algorithm so you know what we're up to. And you can always head on over to ZwiftCommunityLive.com, sign up over there, and tune in for the wrap. It's a good way to stay in the loop as well. Tomorrow night, 11 p.m. CST, and you can always listen as a replay, as a download, searching the wrap and Zwift. It should come up pretty quickly anywhere you download your podcast. Well, Dave, thanks a lot for my run on and hanging out with me for a little extra time.
Fun day, seriously. Yeah. See you back again on Monday.
Yep, we'll be back Monday for the Z Racing as well. Whew, so much going on. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. It's from Dave and I, as always, ride on.